It's done. It's finally done. This is my 2013 Toyota Tacoma with a 6-foot bed. It has a 2-inch suspension lift. I put airbags in it. It's got 178,000 miles and it's my old trusty steed. I call her Old Reliable. It took me about 5 to 6 months to build the cap for it. That wasn't working every day. I was working throughout the winter, so I could only do so much. I brought this thing all the way from Connecticut to Florida, obviously all the way to California on my first road trip. I've done about 38, I think, of the 50 states, so I've pretty much brought it everywhere with me, and damn do I love this car. Without further ado, let's go check out the inside of the cap. You'll notice here I accidentally put a cover on the inside and punched these fins out, so I need to get a new one of these, but being in the middle of nowhere, it's hard to find. So what you got to do is you just open the tailgate, and what's nice about having the tailgate is I still have my backup camera, which you can see right here. So when I am backing up places, I have that and I have full visibility of where I'm going. So once the tailgate drops down, you get this view. And honestly, I love the way that this looks. So I do have a deadbolt, and then I can lock this part, so that's super nice about having this door. You can see I have a screen door here. So this detaches, and then I can close this. So that way I can leave this door open, get a good breeze, and still see the view, because unfortunately you can't see through this glass. And welcome inside my home on wheels. So starting off here, this is all my electrical stuff, everything that's connected to the solar, it's all powered here. So you can see that this is my battery monitor. So this is telling me how much battery I have, how many hours I can go without getting a charge. I don't know how really accurate this is. The app on my phone is so much different compared to this, but it's just nice to be able to get an idea. This is a little Bluetooth module to connect to my phone. And then of course here I have all the different buttons. So this one is for my lights, which is super nice to have. So I have 4 puck lights. Of course, I've also put in a little thing to let me know the humidity as well as whatever the temperature is inside the car. And then these are going to be LED strips that I'm going to put into the slat ceiling going across on both sides. I just haven't put them in yet. And then of course here, this is for my fan. It is a manual fan, so that turns this on, which then I can come over here and I have a fan. What's nice about this is it goes in or out, so when the fan spins one way, it sucks air in, and it spins the other way, it sucks air out. So by having this window, I'm able to get a draw in that goes out, and it really does suck in a lot of air. I did buy shades for this window and that window. Of course, the day I left on my road trip, they arrived, so I don't have them yet. Once I stay somewhere for a bit of a longer time and have somewhere to send them to, then I will get those and install them. The last button here is for my water pump. So when I click this on, that turns on my sink. So now I'll be able to press this and get water. This sink does have pretty good pressure, and then I can do either or. I have a drain that I can drain into, and then obviously I can take this out if I have food in there, keep it gray water, and be able to keep it as clean as I can. I love this countertop. I love how it has like a live edge look to it. I actually stole these from my mom's tables. She had 2 tables that were side tables, and we never really used them. So I said, you know what, that's perfect. That's the right size I need. So I cut them the way I needed to and installed them, and I think it looks great. So when you open this up, you'll see I have a trash bin, so that's really easy to access. And then when you open up this side, this is where all of my plumbing is. So I have my 12-volt water pump. The drain is just hooked up straight down to my 7-gallon gray water tank. And then here I have I think it's also 7-gallon tank. I'm not sure what these are, but these are super convenient because anywhere I go, you can refill these at a lot of places. And then of course I keep the propane bottle that I use all the time, I keep in here. And then yes, this is exactly what you think it is. It is a bucket toilet. I do not use this. This is for only emergencies, but honestly, I've not had to use it yet. I just stop somewhere. You can stop anywhere and go to the bathroom on the road. It's not that hard of a thing to do. As you can see, I just keep a bunch of random stuff in here. So I have cleaning supplies, Gojo wipes, and Windex, and then obviously some extra and stuff like that. And then of course, I did strap this in. I just did an eye hook on that side and an eye hook on this side, and that kind of holds everything in. I have not had an issue yet with any of this stuff falling out. So now starting on the back side, you'll see I have my couch here, and then just in case, I have a fire extinguisher. I have not completed this whole backside yet. Just because I'm in bear country, I did put up some sheet metal. I know it's not going to stop a bear, but it'll give me another second to get the bear spray. This is where I've been hanging my stuff. So this towel is dry. When it's wet, I don't have anything else up there. Moving in here, this is all my toiletry stuff. I've been keeping my hats kind of up there. And you will notice, wait a minute, won't this fall out when you're driving? Yes, it will. It will fall out when I'm driving. So I usually have to take them off, and I'll just put them here so that way they don't fall off and they just stay there. And then when I get to where I'm going, I will put this back up. I will eventually put a rope there or something just to hold it all in, but for now, it is what it is. And again, I'm going to create a better way to lock this. I tried to put a latch on here. As you can see, there's holes drilled in there, and it didn't work the way that I wanted. So right now I've been using this hair tie, and it works great. Here I just very simply used the staples for wires, put those in, and then the bungee cord around it. So this is for my grill and then my cutting board. And honestly, this works really good because I can easily take it in and out when I need it and put it back when I don't. So then right here, you'll notice that I have my Bouge RV fridge, which I love this thing. It draws absolutely no power. I can do a freezer or a fridge. Unfortunately, I can't do both, but I guess I sort of can. So when I open this up, you'll see that this section I could keep as a little fridge and then freeze this whole section, but I just use it as a whole fridge, which I'm going to take one of these right now. If you don't love gummy cherries, there's something wrong with you. So the first thing you'll notice when you come in is my slatted ceiling, which is my favorite thing in the world. This was a must-have. I love the way it looks. I love the way it came out, and it really adds a lot of like aesthetic to my little tiny home. We have a smoke and carbon monoxide alarm just in case. I've actually had it go off a couple times in the middle of the night because there was so much moisture in here when I was using the AC unit, which obviously was a pain in the butt when you wake up at 3 in the morning and it's going woo woo fire, but haven't had that issue since I got out west. And then here you'll notice I have my table. So this very simply just unlocks and locks. So I press this lever, and then I press a lever on this side, which makes it drop. And then that way I can use it when I want and when I don't want. So I put it up here, and that way this is my working desk, and I'll usually just sit right here, do my work, be able to have the view outside that way. Also, when I'm cooking, what I usually will do is I'll have my stove on this side right here, and then I can use this as an extra cooking area. When I'm chopping stuff up, I can just have a lot more room to be able to cook. Behind here, there's a little bit of room, so that's where I keep extra camera gear. I keep my GoPro stuff and my drone back there, as well as just some extra bags and stuff like that. My brother made this for me. It's laser engraved, so it shows the whole forest, mountains. My truck camper looks great, and pretty much the #1 spot that I always want to park at, which is in the middle of nowhere with the mountains in the background, stars at night, and trees around. Kind of doesn't get much better than that. Other than wildlife. Adding a little wildlife would be cool. Now moving over to above the galley. So here obviously we have a mirror. Hello. Lift this up, and it's not very organized because when you drive around, stuff moves around. Here I have all my pots and pans. I have bowls inside there that I keep. Just try to minimize the storage. I need to put in some shelving here, obviously, to organize this. I didn't really think that through when I first made the build, and now that I don't have all the tools that I had at home, it makes it a little more difficult, but that should be really easy to install, so I will get that done. Same thing on this side. You'll notice here, this is now my pantry. Again, I need to put a shelf in. This is where I keep all my different foods, stuff like that. And then I usually try and organize it by like what I eat the most of. Obviously, I need to go grocery shopping a little bit, but there is a lot more in my fridge. Something else that I didn't think of, and I said, oh, I'll be fine, I can just use one hand and then use the other, is when I open this, I didn't put any struts. So unfortunately, like right now, when I only have one hand, I have to go like this and I sit it on my head and then I go there and grab something. Especially if I'm grabbing a pot or pan and it's something heavier, I have to do this and then I use both hands, reach in and grab it and take it out. So that's another thing that I need to install, is putting struts so that it'll just hold itself up. Moving over to this section, this is all of my clothes. So if we open this up here, you'll see I have all my sweatshirts, t-shirts, long sleeves, dress shirts. Why I brought dress shirts, I don't know. I'm not going to a fancy dinner. Going over to this side, we have just our flannels, some shorts, long pants, pajamas. I love the way that these cabinets came out. I just used plywood, and then I used a 1/8 inch of plywood and cut it to size like this to give it a little bit of that accent. And then of course just bought these handles from Home Depot. So all of these I made myself, as well as this section here. Moving to the last section I have right here, you'll see I have my 2 pillows and then my cushions. For this material, I just used, I think it's 3.5 or 4-inch foam. And then I just bought a really long pillowcase because I figured it'd be something really easy to clean. It was cheap. And honestly, it's been a great idea. It's not really sticky. It doesn't get too moist. Honestly, it's great and I would recommend doing it. So this is what it looks like with everything off. You will see here, kind of looks unorganized, but that's just because this is my big laundry bag. So if I just take that out, you'll see that I have my vacuum, my Jackery portable generator, Xbox, stuff like that, my fuse box, my inverter, my battery is in here. This is the mess of all the electrical that connects straight to this. And then you'll see I put all the conduit tubing all leading down to there. I keep some laundry stuff there, so laundry pods, some toilet paper, paper towels and stuff. And then of course, down here I have some extra propane. I have a lot of room for extra storage here, but you know, it's a pain to get to, so all the stuff that I don't use long term, I either put it in here or I'll put it inside the cab. And you can see that if I want to access this whole thing, I make a mess. So I really need to cut it up so that I can push it all to one side or the other. You will notice that this part hangs over my galley. I did that on purpose because right now this bed is roughly the size of a queen bed. Unfortunately, it is this way, but not lengthwise. So I do typically sleep diagonal. So the reason I have this here is to give me a little bit more room. When I do want more room when I'm cooking or doing work or whatever it is, I can easily take this out and lift it up like that. And that way I get an extra foot or two. You will notice too, I have not finished this section or that section. I need to get to it, but the angles were such a pain in the ass and I was just rushing to get on the road, so I did not complete that yet. I'll quickly hop up here and just show you how much room I have, kind of how I sleep. So what I do is I step up on my couch, duck my head, crawl up here, and then lay down like that. But typically what I'll do is I'll move my pillow to the side, lay back here. I can move around. Honestly, I don't sleep straight up and down like this. I always sleep a little bit like this, or, you know, curled up in the fetus position. I do have just enough headroom too to be able to sit up. So you can't see me right now, but I'm able to sit up comfortably and I can do work up here without hitting my head up on the ceiling. For the flooring, my parents actually just redid their house, so I took some of the leftover flooring that they had. It's just like, it's not shiplap, but it's kind of similar idea where they just kind of squeeze together. You can kind of see the seam right here. So I cut that to size, put that in, and I love the way that that came out. It's super easy to clean. As you see with this door, I can lock it from the inside with the deadbolt. So right here too, I have shore power. So again, when I'm at a campground or somewhere that I can connect my extension cord into, I plug into here And then on the inside, I can be able to have as much power as I need and not have to draw anything from my solar. So here I have an AC unit. I only use this when I'm on shore power, which honestly is really nice in the hot weather, but I typically just leave that here just because it takes up too much space inside the cab. So I really just want to be able to have it in here where I have more room to kind of just throw stuff around. I have extra sheets and pillowcases in here, and then of course some fishing equipment, additional sheets here, can't have too many of that. In here is my electronics, so this is for the Jackery that I use. These are just all the different cables. In here I have just some batteries that I need, additional camera equipment, some GoPro stuff. And in the last drawer I have just some extra cables, SD cards. This is my junk drawer of all the random stuff that don't know where to put it. And then of course I have my first aid kit, which is awesome. I keep this strapped to the seat. Sometimes I'll take it on a hike with me. It has anything from band-aids to a heat blanket if I'm cold. So the company that makes it is My Medic. If I ever needed anything, I'd be saved by that little pack. Just keep shampoo and bags and random stuff in there. Moving to the front, this is just where I keep my water bottles, my extension cord when I need shore power. This is actually one of my fans on the inside for my AC system that I haven't put in, but I need to. My AC works, but it makes a noise, so that I need to get replaced. And then of course, just anything muddy, I'll kind of throw up here. Random tools, caulk gun, and then of course, spongy cords. Again, that's kind of my junk section too. Moving into this part of stuff, so I have everything from scuba goggles to fishing reels. Never use this. A little fan, some hand warmers and foot warmers, you know, sunscreen, just some mace in case anyone wants to, you know. Then I have some additional goggles. These are actually my motocross goggles, and I just brought them because can't be too prepared. Moving into this drawer, needed 2 hands to open that. So this is just a whole bunch of shoes. So I have my hiking shoes, running shoes. Up here is my hiking bag. And then this is just my go bag. So if I'm gonna fly home or visit a friend or something like that, I can leave my truck there and then just take this little bag with me. Love this backpack. Looking in the middle real quick, this is some extra tools that I have. So I have a drill, duct tape, and screws, a bunch of random stuff in case it breaks. I have that in here. This is my camera. It's actually my sister's camera, but she's letting me use it. And then of course in here, this is my toolbox. So I have everything from extra Velcro to more Fix-A-Flat, some seals, extra tire pressure gauge, and of course tire plugs just in case. And then of course in the back I have my fishing rod. I also have these mud tracks, so if I ever get stuck anywhere, I mean I do have 4-wheel drive, but if I do get stuck I can take these out. These are also really nice for keeping the truck level. I was somewhere last night where the ground was kind of like this, so I pulled up onto these and leveled the truck out. Love these things. You never know when you'll need them, but they're just really nice to have. Driver's side, obviously, this is where I drive, and this is where the whole journey takes me. You might be wondering to yourself, you said you have Starlink and a TV, well, where do you keep it? I'll show you. For aesthetic purposes, I brought it inside when I was filming this part of the video, and I brought it inside here when I was filming the inside. But what I typically do with my Starlink and my TV is this. So I'll leave my Starlink up on my bed, the TV up on the bed. Usually at nighttime, I'll take the TV out and I'll put it right here. So when I am going to bed, it's not in the way. Enough talking, let's go check out the solar. I've been getting a lot of questions on how long I'm gonna do this kind of lifestyle for. I've been working remote and it's been great, so there's really no point in me stopping. So we'll see when I get old of this and what I'll upgrade to next, but make sure you subscribe so you can follow along to where I'm going, how it's holding up, and the rest of the additions that I'll do for it. As well as I'll be posting a video soon on the things I like about it, the things I don't like about it, what I would change, and just some recommendations if you think about doing this yourself. One last thing I want to mention, I've been saying a lot of I throughout this video, but I could not have done this without the help of my dad. He's an electrician, and I know nothing about wiring, and honestly, I didn't know much about a lot of this. It was an idea I had, and he was a big help for it. So Dad, if you're watching this, shout out to you. And if you haven't already, go watch the rest of my videos. Thanks for watching.